welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive.
It's great to be here for this one.
Yeah, before we even, get started unpacking the sheer madness of this weekend, I need to remind you to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
You really do, because, the stuff we're talking about today is just, it's wild.
It really is. So our mission today is to dive into the absolute high-stakes mathematical chaos of the World Rugby ranking permutations.
Right, heading right into the final round of the Southern Hemisphere leg of the Nations Championship.
Exactly. And we want to really embrace just how brilliant and maybe a little ruthless this ranking methodology is. Like, every single match this weekend could completely rewrite rugby history.
Oh, without a doubt. It's a perfect storm of on-field pressure and, mathematical gravity.
Yeah, and it makes me think of like a really high-stakes game of snakes and ladders, right?
That's a good way to put it.
Like, you can climb the board for years, but one bad result against a lower-ranked team, and bam, you step on a massive snake and go sliding all the way down the board.
Yeah, but the higher you get, the longer the snakes are, especially at the very top.
Right, which brings us to the summit, South Africa. Rassie Erasmus has the Springboks sitting at #1 in the world with 93.96 points.
A massive total.
And they're facing off against Wales, who are sitting all the way down at 12th with 76.38 points.
And that is exactly where the math creates this incredible trap.
Is it the gap? Right?
Exactly. There's a 17.58 rating point differential between them.
Wow.
So the system basically says, South Africa is such a heavy favorite that a win proves nothing. They literally cannot improve their score.
Not even with a blowout.
Nope. Even if they win by 50 points, they gain absolutely 0 rating points.
Wait, so South Africa's walking into a match where they mathematically have 0 points to gain, but the #1 ranking in the world to lose. How does a team mentally prepare for a scenario with literally no upside?
Well, you have to, completely block out the spreadsheet.
Right.
When there's no numerical reward, the motivation has to be entirely internal. Coaches usually build this siege mentality.
Oh, like protecting the fortress.
Exactly. You don't talk about points. You talk about momentum, protecting the jersey.
Yeah.
And honestly, you use the fear of the drop.
Because if they lose to a 12th ranked team,
the points penalty would be catastrophic. And, Wales might be struggling, but a desperate team is always dangerous.
Yeah, and if South Africa does slip up, the Wolves are literally right at the door. New Zealand is at #2, Ireland is at #3.
And they are colliding at Eden Park.
Yeah.
Which is just, the pressure there is immense.
The Eden Park Fortress, the All Blacks have, a 52-match unbeaten run there?
Yeah, 52 matches.
That is just insane.
It goes all the way back to 1994. It's basically a psychological barrier for any visiting team before the whistle even blows.
So what are the actual permutations here? If New Zealand wins...
So if New Zealand wins and South Africa loses, the All Blacks reclaim the #1 spot in the world.
Okay, but there's a margin rule, right?
Right. At least one of those margins has to be over 15 points. In World Rugby, a 15-point victory acts as a multiplier.
Oh, gotcha. But Ireland can take #1 too, right?
They can. If Andy Farrell's men break that 52-match streak and win by more than 15 points...
Which is a huge ask.
Huge ask. But if they do, and South Africa loses by more than 15 points, Ireland will actually leapfrog both of them.
Wow.
Yeah, they'd take #1 for the first time since November 2024.
That is mind-blowing. But, the battle for #1 isn't the only place where teams are risking it all for 0 mathematical reward.
Oh, the mid-table mayhem is just as wild.
It really is. And before we get into France's crazy situation, I want to give another quick reminder to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
Definitely do that.
And hey, we genuinely want to hear from you. Head down to the comments and let us know your thoughts and opinions on these ranking scenarios. Like, does a team's ranking change how you view a matchup? Drop a comment.
I really want to see what people think about France.
Yeah, because #4 France is facing Eddie Jones's Japan, who are sitting in 11th.
Right, and it's that exact same 0 upside trap.
Yeah, there's an 11.01 point differential. So France gains absolutely nothing from a win.
Nothing at all.
It feels like a classic trap game in a video game, Like an unskippable side quest that gives you no loot, but can completely derail your main campaign.
That is the perfect way to describe it. Because if France loses by more than 15 points...
Oh, man.
Yeah, and if that's coupled with wins for Argentina and Scotland, France goes plummeting all the way down to 6th.
And Japan is dangerous.
Very. With a win, Japan can re-enter the top 10 for the first time since July 2023. They could even hit ninth.
That would be massive for Eddie Jones.
Yeah.
And speaking of Argentina, they are hosting England down in Santiago del Estero.
Right. Number 5, England versus number 7, Argentina.
And a win for Los Pumas means they just straight up swap places with England, right?
They do. And get this. If France gets upset in Tokyo, Argentina could actually surge all the way to 4th.
That is the brilliance of this system. Every game is connected. But I want to talk about a team that is in serious trouble.
Ah, the Wallabies.
Yeah. Number 8, Australia is hosting number 10, Italy, in Perth.
Which is a huge emotional game because it's Joe Schmidt's final game as head coach.
Right. And they are staring down the barrel of sliding completely off the top 10 board.
It's a historic danger zone. If Australia loses by more than 15 points...
And Fiji to Scotland.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if Japan or Wales pull off upsets, Australia will drop out of the top 10 for the very first time since the rankings were introduced in October 2003.
Just a standard loss drops them below Fiji anyway, doesn't it?
It does. Even without the 15-point multiplier, a victorious Fiji jumps them.
Joe Schmidt's farewell game could literally cement Australia's lowest point in 23 years of rankings history. Does the pressure of avoiding an all-time low make a team more dangerous or more fragile?
Honestly, I think it makes them incredibly fragile.
Really? Not fired up?
No, because it's a suffocating kind of pressure. You start playing not to lose instead of playing to win.
Right, you get hesitant.
Exactly. You don't take risks. And Italy knows this. While Australia is sweating, you have teams like Scotland and Fiji flying high.
Yeah, Scotland is number 6 right now.
And if they beat number 9 Fiji by 15 or more points and the Argentina-England game is a draw, Scotland reaches an all-time equal high of 5th.
Wow. And they could even hit top 4 if France completely bombs against Japan.
Exactly. But Fiji is hunting for their First Nations Championship win, and they can climb to 8th if they win and Australia loses.
It is just a brilliant, interconnected mathematical web. Every single pass, every tackle, every penalty this weekend matters across the whole nation's championship.
It really does tie the whole globe together. But, looking at all this, it does leave me with a really big structural question to ponder.
Oh, what's that?
Well, we just talked about how teams like South Africa and France are mathematically unable to improve their ratings against these lower-ranked opponents, right?
Yeah.
Because of the massive point differential.
Yeah, it's literally zero upside.
So does this strict mathematical system inadvertently discourage top-tier nations from scheduling tests against developing teams?
Oh, wow. Hadn't thought of that.
Right. Because it's a fascinating side effect of a perfectly balanced formula. If you're a top team, why schedule a friendly against a Tier 2 nation if you risk plummeting down the board for a bad day, but get zero reward for a good one?
That is such a fascinating quirk in the system. I want to turn that over to the listeners. Drop a comment and let us know your opinions on this structural quirk. Does the math hurt the growth of the game? Let us know.
It's definitely something to think about while you're watching the games this weekend.
Absolutely. Well, before we head out, I want to give one last reminder to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. You are not going to want to miss the fallout from this weekend.
The rankings table on Monday is going to look insane.
It really is. Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.